Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. We'll go ahead and get started. I'm Petra Sultan. I'm the Director of Advocacy and Education for Thrive, the Alliance of Nonprofits for San Mateo County, which you probably already know since you're here at this meeting. I'm here with my colleagues, Georgia Farouk, our Executive Director, and Kirsten Scheidek, our Operations Coordinator. And we have a packed program today, all about building relationships, but also about money. So let me just first tell you about a couple of exciting things that's coming up with Thrive. So on February 22nd, we're going to do an event called Running for Office, How and Why. With a lot of what's been going on in the county, a lot of what's been going on politically, I think there's a lot more interest in running for office, but there's a lot of people who are still concerned and worried about how to do it. We really want to demystify the process, and we think it's really important, especially with districting. There's going to be a lot of opportunity for people that where there was an opportunity before, because the districts are going to be much smaller. You won't have to raise as much money. You won't have to campaign in as large areas. And we hope to see more people and more diverse people running. So because of that, we decided to hold this event. We have all four of these of our panelists are people who decided to run relatively recently. They have not been in their positions for very long. They're city council members and school board members, and we thought that their stories would be inspiring. So please spread the word and come to our event on February 22nd. And our environment and sustainability group is going to focus on transportation. We're going to have representatives from Samtrans, Peninsula Clean Energy, Caltrain, Seamless Bay Area, talking about kind of the future of transportation. And we're also going to have Julio Garcia to talk about how this affects our most vulnerable communities that are often very underserved by transportation, and how we can work to both better the environment and make sure that we don't leave anyone out. So that's open to everyone as always. And then we are very cognizant of how hard the last couple of years have been. So we really want to support the nonprofit staff. And so every other month we do a Wellness Wednesday, and the next one is going to be on stress management. It's going to get a whole bunch of different tools. You're welcome to invite your entire staff, friends, family, whoever you think could really benefit from this. And these are all virtual events, although we hope to be in person soon. So with that, we'll go to today's agenda. So first of all, we're going to be talking about the county. Sorry, it's very distracting when you spotlight me, because all of a sudden I see me. Don't like looking at myself. Anyway, thank you for spotlighting me. I really appreciate it. But very soon we'll have the spotlight off of me, and we'll hand it over to Meg Aminto from the county of San Mateo to talk about the new grant that's coming out. After that, we're going to, that'll be short, and then we will move on to talk about the county department, sorry, Rubie's new position, but we'll get to that. So Meg, go ahead.
Sure. Sorry if I jumped the gun with this.
That's okay.
But hi, everyone. Good afternoon, and thanks for giving me a couple minutes. I'm a consultant supporting the San Mateo County Recovery Initiative, and we're excited to let everyone know that the Board of Supervisors approved $3.3 million to expand access to summer enrichment programs for the summer 2022. And I'm just going to go through some of the background on the grant opportunity and where you can find all the materials and information. And I will also put the website and question inbox email address in the chat too, once I go through these slides. But just to kind of give you an overview of the program, the goal is to, of course, expand access, and particularly for priority populations, socioeconomically disadvantaged children, children with special needs, or who are in the foster care system, have or are experiencing homelessness, and English language learners. And really, we understand that COVID-19's had a lot of impacts for children. So these grants are really meant to support social emotional well-being and try to counterbalance learning loss from the last couple of years. So just to give you some ideas of how these grants can be used. Well, first, they're going to vary depending on the scale of capacity and the ability to expand program access for this summer. The allowable uses are in 3 different areas. First, operating expenses. So enhancing the operations for this summer. This is not to supplant current budgets, it's to supplement. So it could be expenses related to additional staff costs, counselors, transportation, food supplies. Access scholarships is another option, allowable use. So that is subsidies for enrollment of socioeconomically disadvantaged students or other vulnerable students. And then there's an optional funding opportunity related to program infrastructure enhancements. So that is up to $50,000 in organization, $25,000 per program site to support any infrastructure needs to expand capacity. So transportation or additional technology, those are some of the things that you can use the funds for. I'll back up and say for eligibility, the eligibility requirements are listed on the website. And you can say here this smcstrong.org/apply for funding is the website with all the program information, and the eligibility requirements are laid out there, but just to get you thinking, organizations must be located in the county, in San Mateo County, provide summer enrichment programs that span at least 4 weeks and offer at least 4 hours of programming per day, serve school-age children, so rising kindergarten to seniors, be able to submit a W-9 and provide self-attestation of compliance with licensing, health and safety, and background check requirements. So there's more information, as I mentioned, on this website. I'll put it in the chat, but applications are due February 25th. And there's also on this website a FAQ document, as well as an email address if you have any specific questions as you're working through it. So I'm happy to take any questions. And I think Linda Woolen might also be on this call, who's been very involved and done a great job getting this program up and running quickly. So Linda, invite you to add any details.
Yeah, I'm here. This is Linda Woolen from Supervisor Dave Pine's office, and Meg, you did a great job, but I'll be here for the rest of the meeting if people have questions later and want to private chat me. That's great.
Does anybody have any questions now for Meg? Jill, go ahead. Just take yourself off mute.
Thank you. This is a great opportunity. Thank you for everyone's work on its behalf. Any sense of kind of budget range of what you're thinking of how many programs you'd fund, or at what amounts, just to give us some kind of guidance?
Linda, do you want to speak to that? I know.
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna say it's a great question. And I think, I know that's a little confusing for applicants, but we really wanted to provide applicants the opportunity to, tell us what it is that they need, and we'll evaluate based on the merits of that. Meg, let me let you finish what you were gonna say about what's in the FAQ about sizes, but it really is, don't hold back in terms of asking, but be aware that we might pick and choose among various aspects of your program based on the criteria that Meg explained.
Yes, thank you, Linda. And that's basically what was in the FAQ. There's no maximum grant amount. For the program infrastructure funding, that optional funding request, there is a maximum amount of $50,000 per applicant and recommended amount of $5,000 to $25,000 per program site. Anything else?
Thank you so much for sharing. I think hopefully everybody in the room is very excited about this opportunity.
Okay, great. And thanks for the opportunity to let you guys all know. So I'm going to drop off, but I'm going to put this info in the chat so you have it. And thanks so much for your time.
And we'll send out a follow-up with the slides, if that's okay with you, Meg.
Sure. Great. Thank you.
Okay. So the rest of the time is going to be devoted to getting to know each other, but specifically to get to know Rubie Macaraeg, who is the new Expanded Learning and Community Partnerships Coordinator. So what we thought we would do is start with everybody else introducing themselves and then hand it over to Rubie. So I'd like to try to this popcorn style. I think we are all pretty good at that by now. We'll see. And if everybody could introduce yourself, your organization and your position, and kind of the number of kids you serve and the ages of the kids you serve, so that she can get to know who you all are in the room. And it's a good opportunity for us to get to know each other some more as well. So I will pick someone randomly to start, and then we'll go from there. So Lisa, do you want to start? Lisa Peckler.
Sure, thanks so much. I'm new to the group and it's lovely to be here. I direct the Jewish Coalition for Literacy. We serve the entire Bay Area, but certainly San Mateo County is an important place for us. And we recruit, train, and support volunteer reading tutors of all backgrounds, and are looking both for partners, whether they're school sites or nonprofits, where to place tutors, and other organizational partners for recruiting those tutors. So I would love to speak to all of you. Let's see, did I miss anything? Name, position, yes, students served. As always, there's the pre and post-COVID. So pre-COVID, we were serving perhaps 120 kids in the San Mateo area, maybe somewhat a little bit less. We're trying to bounce back. So there you have it. I choose Amy.
Hi, I'm Amy. I hope there's only one Amy. I don't know. Did you mean me?
Yes, I did mean you. I couldn't see any other Amy. So if I picked some and do a name that is popular, I apologize.
All right, well, I'm going for it then. So I'm Amy Corman, and I am the development director at East Palo Alto Tennis and Tutoring. We're a 30-plus-year-old program that is very focused on helping students achieve college and career readiness by high school graduation. And we are based in East Palo Alto now, after over 20 years at Stanford in the tennis stadium. We moved off campus in July 2021. And let's see, number of kids served has also fluctuated, as Lisa was saying. We used to have only capacity for 60 kids a day. So we alternated, they either came Monday or Wednesday or Tuesday, Thursday. Anyhow, so we could only serve 120 after school, but now we are able to blow that number up, and we're working on recruiting more kids and families into the program in EPA, and we use the tennis courts at Cesar Chavez Ravenswood Middle School because tennis is a huge part of what we do, where kids have the opportunity to be physical and play, learn sport. that isn't typically taught. And yet we use tennis as the hook to get them into our academic program, where we work with actually pre-K through post-secondary kids. That's it. Thank you. Let's see, Rubie.
I'm actually gonna go last, I think, right?
Okay. Bad choice. All right, should I pick someone else? How about Eleanor?
Hi there. Nice to hear all of you. I'm really thrilled to be here, actually. We serve eKids with eKids Power, all schools, STEMs and STERMs, and K-12. We potentially can serve up to 160,000 kids with an endorsed EdTech health curriculum that meets all school mandates for health and wellness. So we are ready to go, and actually we have recently been with the San Mateo Foster City School District Superintendent Ochoa and the San Francisco School District. Altogether, that's about 60,000 children. If we continue to work with them, that's how many will be on the system at that time. In the meantime, we have random children. We have about 8,000 random children on the site as we speak. So it's quite fun. I mean, I have to tell you, you all know working with kids and giving them anything that they might need or want is a joy. So thank you, everyone. Let's see. I would say, Kristen, would you like to weigh in? You're muted, Kristen. Okay. No. How about Sarah? Sarah, you're muted as well.
Am I the only Sarah?
There you go. Yes, I think
Okay,
so.
all right.
Kernan.
That's fun.
Kernan.
Hi, I'm
Yes.
Sarah Kinahan with the Child Care Partnership Council at the San Mateo County Office of Education. And we do public policy and advocacy and planning work on behalf of the roughly 40,000 children ages 0 to 12 in childcare and early learning programs in the county, and the amazing programs like all of you that are serving those kids. And I will pass it to Heather C.
Thanks, Sarah. Hi, everyone. I'm Heather Cleary. I'm CEO of Peninsula Family Service, and we serve about 450 children in the county through 8 sites, from infants, toddlers, preschoolers, and 1 school age program in South San Francisco. Happy to be here today, and I will pass it to Mai.
Thank you, Heather. Hi, everyone. My name is Mai Lee. I'm a community health planner at San Mateo County Health Policy and Planning. So I don't serve any children directly, but I'm just interested in knowing about all the community resources that are out there. Thank you. I will pass it to Jay Powell.
Hi, my name is Janice, or Jay, either one of them works. I am the region manager for the South Bay and Peninsula area for EDMO. And we are a STEAM-based organization, educational nonprofit that focuses on social emotional learning. We serve ages pre-K all the way up to 8th grade. We also have a high school leadership program as well. And the number of students we serve, again, we have, I think someone said this earlier, we have COVID, pre-COVID numbers, but I think last summer we served about 500 students in the area and have expanded this year with our district partnership. So we're looking to serve a lot more students. And I will pass it to Joshua.
Thank you. Good to be here. My name is Joshua Brady. I'm an education administrator with the California Department of Education. I have been on a few of these meetings, and it's always great to attend. We provide, again, grants on a statewide basis for our after-school education and safety, 21st century community learning centers, and the new expanded learning opportunities program. So good to be here. And I will pass it to, looks like Marnie.
Yep, great. Thanks so much. Hi, everybody. My name is Marnie Rubin, and I am a project manager for the Choose Children initiative through Silicon Valley Community Foundation. I was with SBCF for about 6 months prior to starting my new position on Tuesday, literally yesterday. So I'm very excited to start and learn about the early childhood education area. The program works with elected officials and candidates to advocate for early childhood education. So it's 0 to 5 years old, and we work with both San Mateo County and Santa Clara County. So not sure at all at this point how many children that is, but it's a lot. And I'm excited to be here and meet you all and learn about this space. So thank you so much. And I will choose Roland. Did you go already?
Thanks, Marty.
Thanks.
I'm Roland Henaro, Executive Director of the Silicon Valley Urban Debate League, also a board member of Thrive. Currently, we work with 11 high schools in both San Mateo and Santa Clara counties, serving about 500 high school students, bringing speech and debate programs to them. I will pass it to my friend Padma.
Thanks, Roland. I'm Padma Gargeya, Executive Director of Homework Central. We serve the San Mateo Foster City School District, and we work with elementary school students as an after-school program in providing tutoring and support. And we primarily take in students who are recommended by their teachers and who are economically vulnerable on free and reduced lunch programs at school. And for the most part, are either English learners or speak a primary language outside of English at home, and so cannot get support at home. We provide tutoring and homework completion support in small groups of not more than 3 or 4. And let's see, I think I answered all the questions. Number of students. We serve about 100 kids, 80 to 100 kids. They come 4 days a week, 2 hours a day after school, and spend time with us in getting these skills. And I will go with my friend, Evan Jones.
Thanks, Padma. Evan Jones, Mid-Peninsula Boys and Girls Club. We serve the Bayshore, Millbrae, and San Mateo Foster City School Districts, as well as the Jefferson High School District. And right now, our average daily attendance is about 200. Let's see, our kids are definitely unduplicated count, so low income, and we run 2 ACES sites here in the northern part of the county. And I'm gonna go. I was late, so I'm gonna call on the wrong person. I'll call on Rod. Maybe nobody called on Rod yet.
Thank you, Evan. You got lucky. I wasn't called on before. So hi, my name is Rod Shao. I'm the CEO of InPlay. What we do is we try and connect low-income underserved kids and try to connect them with all the amazing programs that are being described on this call. And what we do is we work with school districts and we text the families and give them a really easy, streamlined process to sign up. So we are working with Oakland, San Francisco, San Diego, and we just got inquiries from 2 other big school districts. So, but right now we're contracted to serve about 35,000 kids for this coming summer. So I'll turn it over to Karen Huber-Levy.
Thank you so much, Rod. I am a commissioner and vice chair of the Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Commission. I presented at the last meeting regarding the research that we've done in the area of after-school programs in San Mateo County. Our goal is to advocate for programs and services that prevent youth entry into the juvenile justice system, and we know how important after-school and intersessional programming is in doing so. So we are here to be helpful, share our research, work with advocacy groups to gain support for additional programming, and here to learn from the community and offer our help and support. Thank you. And I will pass the mantle to Elizabeth Harris.
Yeah, hi, I'm with Boys and Girls Clubs of the Peninsula, and we have a lot of kids. We have about 2,500 kids now, probably more. We actually ended up with more since the pandemic than we did right before the pandemic, which we were surprised but thrilled. And we run summer programs with the Ravenswood District, K through 8, and Redwood City, K through 8, and then we run high school programs out of 3 of our clubhouses. What am I missing? I guess that's it. Yeah, and we're hoping to reach some of the more, reach out to some new areas this summer if we can, get some kids in areas that don't have summer programs this summer in past years. I think that's it. Oops. Oh, sorry, I'm missing my job. Let's see. I can't see who people are. Amy, Ellen, no, we went. Irma, have you gone?
Hi, thank you. And hi, everyone. Irma Tzoff. I am here representing the PTO of Adelante Selvi. I'm the treasurer of the PTO, and we support the school at Redwood City. It's an elementary school, about 700 students. And I have been involved for several years now, 5 years. I'm also a board Thrive board member, and I'd love to learn more about you and everything that you do to support better our school. Thank you. And I'll pass it to Lori. Not sure if Lori went already.
I didn't, thank you. I'm Lori Ottolini Gino, and I'm the Deputy Director of Footsteps Childcare. We're located in Belmont, Redwood Shores, Redwood City, and San Mateo. And we provide services, early education and care, and out of school time for children 6 weeks to 8th grade. We have currently 8 program sites. We have 3 on pause because of the pandemic. And previously we were serving about 850 children. We're at about 625 right now. I will pass it on to Danielle.
Danielle, are you able to come off mute?
Yes, sorry. My name is Danielle Tremaine. I work for the San Mateo Foster City School District, the Children's Annex program. We run before and after school programs at almost all of the elementary schools, ages TK through 5th grade, and we serve about 800 students. And I will call on Tal.
Hi, I'm sorry. My name is Tal and I'm from Newton. We run after school care programs for San Mateo Foster City School District and Menlo Park City School District schools. And we currently are serving 600 children. Very nice to meet you. Thank you. Oh, I need to call on somebody. Did Mai go? Am I saying her name, pronouncing her name?
I did, thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
How about Tony?
Oh, Tony, sorry about that.
I thank you for having us here. This is a great session. I think I'm Tony Barrick with the Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Commission. And I think Karen filled you in on our role and our interests in after-school care.
Judy?
So I will turn it over to Linda Wolin.
Hi, everyone, again. I am Linda Wolin again from Supervisor Dave Pine's office. My connection with the after school and extended learning community is that through the auspices of Supervisor Pine, we were instrumental in getting the Learning Hubs initiative and grant program off the ground in the earlier days of COVID in kind of an emergency way. And now we're working, as Meg explained earlier, on this new summer enrichment grant program for summer 2022 using federal ARPA funds, and there'll be additional programming after summer 2022 for the fall of 22-23 and beyond related to extended learning. I also have another hat, which is that I sit on the board of the Boys and Girls Club of North San Mateo County, which serves youth in South San Francisco and Pacifica. And I will call on who hasn't gone yet. I'm looking. Did Jay Powell go?
I did go.
Oh, let me find someone else. Judy. Thank you for raising your hand. You're on mute still, Judy.
Thank you. I'm Judy Koch. I'm the founder of Bring Me a Book. We're celebrating our 25th year, and I'm joining today to our executive director, Lois Bridges, could not attend, but I just want to, I hope that Thrive, I think is so important that all of us meet one another, and if there's some way we could get a listing of everybody that attended. I'm trying to write down names because there's so much opportunity for collaboration among all of you. And with that, we do everything through partnerships. We need your partnership to reach the children, and we don't want to reinvent the wheel to do that. So what we try to do is we have focused on 0 to 5, but we really now are serving 0 to 8, even through 5th grade, to try to create a joyful reading life for children. So children learn to love books when they're very young. We do that through family engagement. And we provide, of course, the books. And then we work with partnerships with libraries, public libraries, so that families can go and really encourage our low-income and immigrant families to use the library and all the resources. And then we also work with, of course, the school districts. We're focused on working with some health organizations. I know I'm leaving out a lot of things, but our partner, we have one partnership with our distributor of books is Bookalicious, and we use them so that children choose their own books, and it provides a lot of diversity of and things that we just can't do on our own. But it gives choice, which motivates children to read. And I could go on and on, but I want to just know if any of you want to collaborate on writing a grant. We have a great grant writer, and we would write the grant. We partner, so if you get all the resources and share them with us, that's fine. We'll be very collaborative if anybody would like to work together, if you see a need.
Thank you, Judy. I'm just going to call attention to the chat where we have a Google Doc where everybody's putting their information. So that'll hopefully make it easier for you. And I'm going to just go ahead and throw it to Jose.
Petra, I hope that's me.
Yes. You are
Awesome.
the only Jose today.
Oh, great. Jose Talavera with Innovate Public Schools. We are a nonprofit across the state, but we have two offices here in the peninsula, in Redwood City and in East Palo Alto. And we work with parents in our area from the different public schools to advocate for better education for their kids. So we organize parents and also do a lot of trainings on leadership development, policy, and educational system. With that, I can pass it on to Catalina.
Thanks, Jose. Good afternoon, Catalina Tamelao. I'm also with Innovate Public Schools, community organizer, and I work specifically in East Palo Alto, Bellhaven. And Jose shared what we do, and I'll pass it off to Yesenia.
Hi, my name is Yesenia, and I'm from Coastside Children's Programs. We currently serve, I'm one of the site supervisors here, and we currently serve children 3 to 12 years old. We provide preschool, after school, and summer program. And we currently have about 130 students enrolled. Thank you.
Thank you. I think Petra is the only one left.
Hi, everyone. I'm Petra Houts. I'm a director of community engaged learning focused on education at Stanford through the Haas Center for Public Service. So we serve through about 4 different programs, youth throughout Ravenswood School District primarily, and some of Redwood City Sequoia High School District, and then support a number of organizations throughout the community. So a lot of different youth there. And I'm also a Thrive board member. So thank you.
Did we miss anyone, or is it Ruby's turn finally? Okay, Rubie, take it away.
Hi everyone, my name is Rubie Macaraeg. My pronouns are she, her. First, before I start to get into like my background and my position, I just want to give a shout out to Petra. 10 years ago, she gave me an opportunity to start working with volunteers and represent an organization as a community partner, and I think it just goes to show the importance of community-based organizations, not only for serving youth, but also workforce development for historically marginalized people. So thank you, Petra. I'm actually going to share a slide about myself. We actually, at the County Office of Ed, we were in attendance with a really great workshop by Rosa Gonzalez at Jobs for Youth from San Mateo County, and we stole this from her. And so I just wanted to take some time to introduce myself. So I apologize in advance if my screen sharing capabilities fail. Can everyone still see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So I am the Expanded Learning and Community Partnerships Coordinator here at the San Mateo County Office of Education. This is a brand new position. And so I'm really excited to be here in partnership with you all and hope to create this position in terms of what the needs are. So I'm really here as an advocate for all of you, and by extension, the community, right? Previous to this position, I was the Career Technical Education Coordinator here at the county office for 2 years. And I actually partnered with Evan Jones from Mid-Peninsula Boys and Girls Club to create a cross-systems $2 million grant to bring more workforce development opportunities to historically marginalized groups in North San Mateo County. And I think that is a really good example of how I, in my position, can help bridge those partnerships and impact student outcomes. My first paying job was a shoe seller at the Puma store on Market, and I always start with that because we all start somewhere. And I learned a lot of really important soft skills in this job. And a lot of our young people, their first job is in retail in San Mateo County. And so I don't want to discount that as a really valuable career experience. I am a first generation Pinay, first generation Filipino American. I was born in San Francisco. I grew up on the peninsula in South City. So I'm actually from San Mateo County. I have 3 stepkids. One of my talents is as a dancer. I grew up going to the Westlake School of Performing Arts in Westlake, Daly City. I am an educator, organizer, most importantly, a nerd, and I'm really good at multitasking. My passions include the Bay Area, being from the Bay. It's really important to say that, I think, now in our current climate. I'm a big fan of 90s hip hop and R&B, and of course, being Filipino. My education, I've had a very privileged educational background. I went to Notre Dame High School in Belmont. I went to LMU to study history and art history. I have a social studies credential from San Francisco State. I have a CTE credential in education and human services. I just finished getting my admin credential with an MA in organization and leadership from USF. And then I'm an EDD candidate at USF in organization and leadership. And I also like to say that the Jesuits have all my money, and I will be paying off student loans for a very long time. And that's something I like to point out as a first generation person, right? I didn't really know how to navigate the educational system very well. And so that's just like something that I like to make transparent to everybody. I am very grateful for my experience in San Francisco Unified previous to coming back to the county to serve the community. I was a teacher and a school leader at June Jordan. And one of the reasons why I'm very grateful for that experience was I was in a public school that served the southeast part of San Francisco, some of the last working class families in the city, and I really saw what was possible with community partnerships and just an alternative space for education within the public school system. And that is something that I definitely bring with me as a foundation for education, my educational philosophy, and my work. And you could see some of my values there. I was raised in a working class family in South City, and so hard work is really important. Openness, empathy, and then of course, social justice. So that's me in a nutshell. Please feel free to connect with me in any capacity in terms of passions, talents, and of course, education. I am very happy to be here. So thank you, Petra.
So I thought we would just go to conversation now. I think people will be really curious about more about how you envision your role, but I'd rather other people ask questions. So would anybody like to ask a question? Go ahead with my question first, and then people will come up with questions.
Okay. So this position was created to really act as a liaison between community partners and school districts. And I know that that is pretty challenging. When I was at June Jordan, that was actually my job as the site leader, was to manage over 90 community partners. And we were able to really integrate all of the things community partners had to offer with our curriculum, with our school culture, with our programming, with our after school offerings. And so I'm really here as an advocate for you all in the district space. Petra, I also have a slide that talks about some updates around the ELO-P funding, if that's helpful for folks. Because that is actually ongoing funding that will start as soon as next fall. So let me share my screen for that.
Because Evan's telling us in all caps.
Yeah.
Once.
And let's see here. All right, so here's the expanded learning update. So there's lots of acronyms, as we know, and lots of plans. So there is a distinguishing factor between the ELO-G money, Expanded Learning Opportunities Grant funding that was one-time funding that came down from the state over the course of COVID. Now that's developing into what's called the Expanded Learning Opportunities Program. So this will be an apportionment for districts, and K through 6 districts cannot opt out. So this is a mandate and extra resources to be able to do so. It funds K through 6 programs. And what's really interesting about this is that the plan needs to be board approved. Districts have to implement this plan by next fall, but it doesn't need to go to the CDE or the County Office of Ed to be approved. What's included in that plan is sort of this mandated 9-hour day in which districts have to offer before school, during lunchtime, and after school programming. It's supporting and resourcing sort of the 180 days of expanded learning programming plus an additional 30 days. And it's supposed to act as an umbrella for the other expanded learning funding streams, such as ACEs and the 21st century funding. I can do a sort of more in-depth overview of what this ELO-P sort of requirements are. And what the CDE is really telling us is that they want districts to create these plans with community partners without sort of the same restrictions that ACEs and 21st century funding has. So really thinking about what the need is, who your students are, and creating that program and thinking big. And also the ELO-P money will not be audited for the next school year. So those are just some highlights. Again, I said I am happy to go in depth into what the ELO-P apportionments will require, but that's kind of the gist, and I just wanted to throw it out there for folks. I also really wanted to hear from you all about what the challenges are currently that you're facing in partnering with school districts to offer programs. And so we can do that in a big group. We could do it in breakout rooms. I know this is like the first time I'm in this space, so I want to be mindful about that. But I really do want to hear about challenges that have been happening on the ground. Amy?
Hi, thank you, Rubie. Well, one challenge we are probably a lot of people in this call are experiencing, I don't want to speak for them, but we're feeling the pinch on classroom space. We had a program in the fall in a Bellhaven classroom, but we ended up having to leave because it was getting just too crowded in the classroom. So I don't know what kind of spaces, classroom spaces are available either to use over the summer or, into the next school year. What are there opportunities for classroom space?
Thanks, Amy. That's something I will work on. Irma?
Yes, thank you. At the school, we have been hearing a lot of challenges getting volunteers, and especially we have the people that want to help, but the volunteers need to go through the screening process, that it's a little bit long and at times confusing for parents. So it gets difficult. And then, the timing, it takes about 2 or 3 weeks for the district to clear out the volunteers. So there, at the school or after school, or there is an event, people are, or the teachers need volunteers. There are volunteers, but they can't because they're not cleared by the district. And I think that has been very challenging. We have been working with the principal and the admin to see what can they do. So we are kind of like stretching on the few parents that are clear, and they are burning out already. And not only the parents, but also other people that are, volunteering there or are working there. So they're adding more hours and just to keep up with all the requirements that there is in the school.
Thank you, Irma. Jose?
Yeah, so a couple of things that we've heard from our leaders. One, as we're reviewing the plans for the ELO-G, some of the things that we saw is that, and we're hoping that not to see this with the plan is released for the ELO-P, is the difference between instructional minutes and expanded learning opportunities minutes. Like expanded learning means outside of the schools, not in the classroom. And that is something we've seen not just in our local districts, but also like outside of our county. It's something that, our parent leaders are advocating for and are looking ways to change that. And we're supporting them to do that as well. We heard about the staffing that's been an issue at the district level, but also like we have many organizations in this call that could also support the districts. And it's something that, we are having those conversations with parents because they want to see that like differentiation between in classroom support with the outside or after school support. And I think, I don't necessarily think that the language that's coming from the state, it's clear on the difference between the instructional minutes, whether it has to be in the classroom or outside the classroom. And it's something that is up to the districts to decide. And wonder if there's any guidance from the San Mateo County Office of Ed around that, to make sure that the students are when we talk about expanded learning opportunities, our opportunities are happening outside of the classroom, not necessarily, because those will count as instructional minutes.
That's a great question, Jose. And I'm writing all of these things down so that I think the next time we meet, I can distribute some answers via email also. You're also more than welcome to meet with me. I can put my contact information in the chat as well. But in our last few minutes, I would like to, anything that you would need answers for or more conversation about, I would love to hear.
Hi, Ruby, this is Rod.
Hi, Rod.
I was just wondering, do you try to meet with other out-of-school time coordinators at other districts in San Mateo County? Is there such a meeting?
Well, I started this job on January 3rd.
Okay.
And so I haven't had the opportunity to, but that is a great suggestion. There are other meetings that the county office does run with different district staff. There's different ones. There's a curriculum and instruction meeting. There's a meeting with all of the directors of student services. There's a counselor's community of practice. And for me, I think that that is a really important space to have this conversation as well at different levels with school and district support. So I will definitely take that suggestion and that recommendation as part of the work.
Thank you.
So I want to be respectful of everyone's time. I want to thank Rubie so much. I feel like this is just the beginning of the conversation. And I hope everyone can join us for our next meeting on March 16th from 3 to 4. And in the meantime, we will definitely follow up with Rubie and we'll send you the slides from today. And if you have anything else, feel free to reach out anytime. And thank you, Rubie. We're really excited to have you as part of the gang.
Thanks, everyone. Nice to meet you.
Good day.